This meditation can be done either sitting or lying down, and is designed to work with difficult emotions. As we begin, notice the support you are receiving from what you're sitting or lying on, paying special attention to the sensations of support. If you're sitting, notice how your feet are making contact with the floor, how your buttocks are supported by the chair or cushion, how your arms and hands are resting. If you're lying down, notice how you are supported by the floor or bed, how your upper body, arms, legs, and feet are making contact. Whether sitting or lying down, allow your weight to sink down through these points of contact. And wherever possible, let any tension drain down into the support and beyond. And as you're sitting or lying here, let any thoughts or images go, just feeling supported by what's beneath you. And when you're ready, notice the breath, whether you're feeling it most vividly in your abdomen or chest or nostrils. Actually feel the breath moving. Notice how the whole body expands a little on the in-breath and relaxes a little on the out-breath. Just letting your breath be your breath, knowing you're breathing just fine. You could even observe your breath like you'd watch waves at the seashore, watching them go out and come back in and flow back out again, smoothing the sand as they come in and out. You wouldn't demand that they go faster or slower, or that they be bigger or smaller. You just enjoy watching them. And see if, in the same way, you can allow the breath to be just as it is, letting the breath just breathe itself. In a moment, we'll turn our attention to something that is troubling you, that's not the way you want it to be. Until you've had experience with this process, it's best to choose something that's not huge, something that has enough charge that you'd have a definite reaction to it, but not the biggest thing in your life. It could be a physical condition, a health problem, relationship issue, a misunderstanding, or a setback. Or it could just be something like an inconsiderate neighbor or coworker, or something you don't like about yourself. Taking your time, there's no wrong choice. Whatever you choose is going to be right for this meditation. Let yourself get a sense of what you could choose to work on and just pick one of those things, not the biggest. Once you've found a situation or issue, see if you can identify the feeling about this situation. Is there anger, fear, sadness, impatience, confusion? What would you call it? And if, for example, it was anger, rather than saying, I am angry, or I am frustrated, or I am sad about something, see how it feels to say, I'm noticing something in me that is this way, that is angry, or afraid, or sad. I'm noticing something in me that has this feeling. Just see how it feels to say it that way. This gives the feeling more room to move, and you won't identify with it as much. This way, you're not labeling yourself as angry or fearful. You're merely aware you have those feelings right now. And as you say this, something in me is annoyed or angry or confused or sad, whichever best describes this feeling, see if you can notice where there might be a physical reaction to this. It could be a tightening in the shoulders or chest, tightness or queasiness in the stomach, pressure or tension of some sort, achiness, constriction, tension in the throat, heat in the face, tightness in the jaw. Just see where it is that affects you physically, where you can notice it. Or if you can't find a specific place, that's fine. It could just be a general sense of unease you feel all over, or a tensing or readiness of the arms as if you're going to protect yourself or someone else, or the legs as if you're getting ready to run. If you can, just allow what you're noticing to be there, simply acknowledging it, letting your awareness gently rest there, allowing it to be just the way it is without demanding that it be different. With difficult emotions or sensations, it's normal to want to move away from them, to push them away. So without trying to soften them directly, see if you can soften your reaction to them. You may not like what you're feeling, but is it possible to accept that this is what you're feeling right now? And seeing if you can give yourself permission to actually feel this, allowing it to be there with kindness and gentleness, recognizing that accepting that something is present doesn't necessarily mean that you like it. This is softening and allowing. Softening of your reaction to the feeling that you're having, allowing that reaction to be there, allowing the feeling to be there. If it's possible for you, see if you can soften your reaction to the difficulty, to this situation with gentle breaths. See if you can be with it the same way you'd be with a child or a pet you love who's in distress. If that were the case, you would do this with tenderness, with gentleness. You wouldn't demand that your loved one respond differently than they are. And if you like, you might even place your hand where in your body you're physically feeling the difficulty, or on your heart or abdomen. Meeting this experience with kindness, recognizing that this would be difficult or painful or challenging for anybody. Holding it and yourself gently and with kindness. And taking your time with this. There's no rush. And as you do this, you may feel sensations and feelings coming and going. And notice, if you pay close attention, there may be movement, change from moment to moment. Perhaps a tightening or loosening. You may notice heat, waves of energy, or images or impressions may emerge. Through all of this, see if you can bring a sense of kindness, curiosity, and compassion to your exploration. Spend enough time here to make contact with what you're noticing and feeling, but not so much that you'd be overwhelmed. Now, without trying to push this difficult issue away, take a moment and see if you can find somewhere in your life that things are generally okay, or maybe even good. Something or someone you are grateful for. It could have to do with a loved one, a favorite pet, past or present, a good friend, maybe an achievement in the past or present you are proud of, or a hobby or sport that gives you pleasure and satisfaction. It could even be something as simple as recalling a smile or a kind word someone has had for you recently or in the past. There may be several things or people you are grateful for that come to mind. And just letting them flow into your awareness, feel the sense of gratitude and warmth. Notice how it affects your body to imagine this in its wholeness. If what comes to mind is physical and involves movement, even if it's something that doesn't seem like it involves a lot of movement, like writing or drawing, imagine how it feels to move in this way, your arms, legs, torso, even a touch of a pen or brush, or whatever it is that you're coming into contact with, the movement of your body. If it has to do with a special feeling you have in this situation, or with these particular people in your life who you're grateful for, let yourself feel that. Notice where in your body you feel it the most vividly. Maybe feeling this warmth in your heart, or safe, secure feeling in your belly, softness around the face or eyes, aliveness in your limbs as they move through space. And spend some time here. Stay here as long as you want. And when you're ready, when it feels right for you, you can move on, knowing you can come back to what you're grateful for. You may want to check in with what has been troubling you. See how it feels to you now. And doing this gently, just checking in like you're opening the door to a room you were in just recently, and just kind of looking inside the doorway, revisiting the difficult situation or issue or condition. And as you do this, what do you notice? How is this the same or different than before? Seeing if you can do this gently, allowing the feelings or sensations to be the way they are without needing them to change. And yet, things might change as you pay attention to them on their own. Just spending long enough here to notice how it feels to be revisiting the difficulty right now. And when you're ready, you can go back to the pleasant feeling or the things or people you are grateful for and hang out there for a while, noticing what it's like to be paying attention to this again, to what's working, to what feels good, what you're grateful for, how it feels in your body now. In a way, the parts of your life that are working well, the parts you are grateful for, can be seen as gently holding the areas that are difficult or challenging. You may notice that things feel differently than they did before. They are actually fluid and dynamic. They're not fixed. And when you're ready, seeing if you can broaden your awareness, like panning out with a wide-angle lens, including both the difficulty and what you're grateful for, so wide that there's enough space and room for both of them. And without pushing away the difficult or clinging to the pleasant, shift to an even wider, more inclusive perspective that includes both the pleasant and unpleasant, including the entire body and all of its sensations. And when you're ready, move wider still to include in your awareness the room or area you are sitting or lying in. You might notice that by widening your awareness, there's a sense of space, of freedom, a capacity for change and movement. Spend some time with this wider perspective. And if it's not too much of a stretch, see if you can expand your awareness to include the building or natural setting you are in right now, and even wider to your neighborhood, your town or city, or even further to your region of the country. The difficulty you began with may not have changed, but now it's part of something bigger. And as your awareness expands even further to include the entire world, if that's possible for you, recognize that at this very moment, there are others who are experiencing the same kind of pain or discomfort as you have been, and in this way you are not alone. Out of the many millions, billions of people included, it's certainly true that some of them are experiencing the same sort of difficulty you are, with the same or even more intensity. The pains, the fears, the worries are not yours to bear alone. They are, in fact, shared by others. There are others feeling the very same thing at literally the same time as you. If it seems possible to do this, you might see if you can imagine your awareness expanding even further, seeing the earth from space the way an astronaut might, that beautiful blue-white sphere against a velvetly black drop, no visible borders, seamless, whole, alive, and so precious. And when you're ready, letting the awareness gradually return to your part of the world, to you, your body, how you are right now, feeling and sensing how it is to be in your body, right here, right now, coming back to just you, but with awareness still wide enough to hold both the difficulties and pleasures of your body and your life. And seeing if you can bring gentleness and kindness to whatever you're feeling right now, holding yourself with compassion and understanding, spending the next few unguided moments resting deep in the body, in the breath, and allowing any discomfort or unease to be soothed by the rhythm of the breath again and again and again. We're nearing the end of the meditation, so if you would like to stay here longer, you can pause, stop the recording. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes if they've been closed, letting your attention move out to the outside world, taking in sight, sound, and sensation, beginning to gently move your body and re-engage with the activities of your day. See if you can bring a fresh sense of curiosity and openness to all you encounter.